Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Borderland Blitz, sponsored by Southwest University. I'm Adrian Ochoa.
And I'm B. Martinez, and we have turned to the page to the month of November, and things are starting to heat up.
Yeah, it is week number 10. After this week, there's only one more week left in the regular season here in Texas. So teams are fighting for district titles, and some are just looking to stay alive in the playoff race. While in Las Cruces, playoffs in New Mexico are actually going to start next week. This was their final regular season week, and we had a district title on the line between Las Cruces and Centennial. We'll show you how that played out later in the show. But let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Our game of the week is a District 1-6A showdown between the Eastlake Falcons and the Pebble Hills Spartans. Winner of this game takes sole possession of first place in the district standings.
These will then check in with the two undefeated teams still left in El Paso. Del Valle paid a visit to the Mustang territory. And then while over at the SAC, the El Dorado Aztecs look to keep their perfect season intact against the America's Trailblazers.
Well, let's get cracking here. Our game of the week. It doesn't get any bigger than this in District 1-6A. It was a battle for first place as the Eastlake Falcons took on the Pebble Hills Spartans. Both teams entered tonight's game 4-0 in district play. Winner of this game gets at least a share of the district title. So we go to the SAC for a much anticipated matchup. See right here, Pebble Hills Spartans go to the action. Luke Lomeli for Eastlake dives into the end zone for the touchdown. 7-0 Eastlake. Spartan mascot loving it, showing off those biceps. Now, Michael Malucci here for Pebble Hills going to get the Spartans on the board with that field goal. It's 7-3. Eastlake still on top, but the Spartans offense going to start to roll here. Zarian Quarles will not be denied, takes the handoff, breaks the tackle, off to the races. That made it 9-7, Spartans in front. The Falcons, Chris Garcia catches the kickoff, dodges a few tackles, and gets behind a flock of Falcons. It's the Flying V. If you know from the Mighty Ducks, there you go. Takes it all the way home, 14-10 Falcons, but the Spartans need to answer here. Joe Fernandez gonna take the snap, scrambles in the pocket, and he's gonna find his buddy Quarles for the touchdown. Yeah, Johnny on the spot. It's 17-14 going into the half. Pebble Hills with the lead. Grab your popcorn, folks, because we had a slugfest in this one. Fourth quarter, though, Eastlake up 28-20, but Pebble Hills with the ball. Looking, trying to make something happen, but it's Eastlake's Junior Trotman with the pick. And that would no more. There would be a few opportunities for Pebble Hills after that, but if we could go back to the video real quick, because you just saw it. They win the district championship there. They get at least a share of the district title for the Eastlake Falcons. It's gold ball season, so there you have it right there. Final score, we showed it earlier. Eastlake wins it 28-20, so let's go ahead and hear from those victorious and district champs, the Eastlake Falcons.
You know it's a dogfight. They got a great football team. That number 8 is unbelievable. But you know what? We were resilient on defense. We scored points when we needed to. We got some big special teams play, and obviously that led us to a win.
Oh, I saw the QB struggling out. I saw him throw it up. I just had to go get it. I had to. It was 4th down. I had to go get it. It's my first goal. Bowl. I have another season next year. Get another one. Bye district's coming up. Try to get that one too.
Yeah, they want it all.
Yeah, wow, what a big game. Well, with a perfect 8-0 record, the Del Valle Conquistadores already secured at least a share of the district title in District 1-5A Division 2, but they were looking to wrap up the regular season with a win against the Burgess Mustangs. Now, this was Del Valle's final game of the regular season, as they'll be on a bye week next week. Now, it's 4th down, and here goes the Arizona State commit Jake Fetty with a shotgun pass to Josiah Nunez for a touchdown, and that's how they would close out the half. The Mustangs trailing 56-3, but fans still out there supporting their Mustangs. Burgess tried to respond back, but Del Valle's defense was not letting that happen. Del Valle defeats Burgess with a final score 70-17.
Well, we'll go ahead and send it over to Rishi Oza, who had some games of his own, and it was another undefeated team he checked up on, and that would be the El Dorado Aztecs in District 1-5A.
That is right. That is right, guys. Yeah, El Dorado, I checked in on them at the SAC. B was house sitting for me at SAC 1. So I was over at SAC 2. We'll start off there where I did catch up with the El Dorado Aztecs and the America's Trailblazers in a District 1-5A matchup. El Dorado staying hot with the win last week, coming into tonight undefeated, one of 2 teams, with America's trying to rebound from a last-minute loss last week to Parkland. And El Dorado, they're going to get the ball after a stop on defense, and Elijah Issa is going to have some quarterback power right here. He's going to take it all the way untouched, practically jogging into the end zone, and it is quickly 7-0 Aztecs. And then after an America's turnover, it's time for Ryan Estrada to get involved. He's also going to go untouched to the house. And 5 minutes in, it is quickly 14-0 El Dorado. But Americas, they're not going to go without a fight. They're going to get on the board right here. It's Cameron Johnson. He's going to go into the score. And guess what? He's also untouched. Not a lot of tackling early on in this game. 14-7 El Dorado. But the Aztecs, they're just going to keep on coming. See the celebration right there with Johnson. It's Ryan Estrada again here. 75 yards to the house. He continues his excellent season. The Aztecs, they're going to win 57-30, and they are the district champs of Division 1-5A, Division 1. And let's go deeper into the lower valley now. The Canoteo Eagles travel to Horizon to take on the Scorpions. Canoteo is sitting pretty at 7-1. They're a lone loss to Del Valle, and Horizon trying to break a 7-game losing streak. When I got to this game, it was already a rout. It was 28-0 in favor of the Eagles in the first quarter, and it got worse for the Scorpions. Canoteo is going to block the punt and recover it, setting them up inside the 5-yard line. Then the Eagles, they're just going to keep it simple. On the first play after they get that turnover, it's going to be quarterback Chris Gomez. He's going to take it into the end zone. That would make it 35-0 for the Eagles in the second quarter. They would keep the shutout going. Final score 42-0 Eagles. They move to 8-1. Final game for me, I went down to San Elizario to see the Eagles host the Mountain View Lions. Mountain View Lobos, excuse me. Mountain View sitting at 4-5. They're trying to get to 500 end their season on a high note. With San Eli at 1-7, similar to Horizon, they're trying to break a 7-game losing streak. And I got to this game as both teams were coming out of halftime with San Eli down 35-19, but they would catch fire in the third quarter. Zamar Vargas, he's going to get into the end zone right here on the edge. And with that, he got to 3,000 rushing yards for his career. He's the first in Eagles history to do that. So congratulations to Mr. Zamar Vargas. Then on the ensuing kickoff, the Eagles, they're going to get an onside kick and recover it. And they're going to get a nice return out of it. And here comes San Elizario. They're going to get it down to 1st and goal, where quarterback's going to toss it out to Junior Garcia. He takes it in the end zone. He finds pay dirt for the Eagles. And then again, it's going to be Vargas on the 2-point conversion. And the Eagles would only be down 5 points after that. Here's Vargas again. This dude he does not go down easily. He just stays up all the time. But unfortunately for them, the deficit's just too big to overcome. The Lobos come out on top in a thriller, 49-42. That was all for me tonight. Some good games. I really wish I could have stayed for the ending of that San Eli Mountain View game. El Dorado staying undefeated. And man, if Del Valle wasn't there, Canoteo would have a legit claim for that district title. So I'm going to send it back to Adrian and B. Let's see what else happened around El Paso.
All right, well, we'll turn our attention back to District 1-5A, Division 2. Now, Del Valle are the outright champs, but there are still playoff spots on the line. Now, for the Hawks Knights, it was a must-win for them to stay in the playoff conversation. Now, the Knights, with a 3-3 district record, they played host to the winless Jefferson Silver Foxes. Hanks quarterback Jordan Morales lets it fly, and the sophomore Alex Robles is wide open in the end zone, and the Knights take an early 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Then here's Jefferson with the attempt pass to Nonel, but it bounces off and it gets in the hands of Ivan Arellano, and it isn't a pick six, but it later does result in a Knight touchdown. Now, Hanks all over Jefferson. Final score 35-0. Now they'll face the Chapin Huskies next week. That'll be a huge game, maybe possibly game of the week next week.
We could potentially, for sure.
Yeah. Well, over at Andrews High School, it was the Eagles hosting the El Paso Tigers. Andrews is also looking to lock up a playoff spot. Now the Eagles run the ball with 22. Marcus Wilson, who goes through the defense for the touchdown. Andrews receiving the punt return from El Paso. Now it would be Jared Gordon who would receive, and it's a foot race from here. He's running and dodging through all of the defense, and what an incredible run. He manages to go untouched and makes it to the house. El Paso High looking to get back in the game as quarterback Martin Gonzalez runs the ball into the end zone for the TD. Now Andres does finish on top with the final score 34-6.
Yeah, let's go ahead and back to District 1-6A. The Coronado Thunderbirds need to win their next 2 games in order to have a shot at making the playoffs. They played host to the Bulldogs from Socorro tonight. And the Thunderbirds going to show, they're not playing around. Opening kickoff to the game, Norton Munchin on the return. And come on down, Norman. Going to take it to the house. T-Birds waste no time lighting up the scoreboard, made it that 7-0 lead there. Then later in the first, more Thunderbirds. It's Ben Wilson, airmails it to Jaden Gonzalez. And he'll take it for the house call. And check out Jaden's end zone dance here. Yeah, I don't know, but I love it. It's 14-0 Coronado. Socorro, though, finally gets on the board. The handoff to Eder Hernandez, and Eder Hernandez welcomed the end zone city. That made it 14-6. Extra point was blocked, but Coronado going to answer right back. Wilson to Christian Frescas. And he will not be denied, and Coronado extends their lead 21-6. Good day to be a Thunderbird as they get the dub 45-25 the final, and they keep their playoff hopes alive. And Coronado going to need some help, though, with Montwood also in the hunt to secure that final spot in District 1-6A. So your top three so far are Eastwood, then you have East Lake. You have East Lake, Franklin there as well, Pebble Hills, your top three.
Right.
They're fighting for that last and fourth final spot. Montwood didn't stake a claim beating Eastwood last night, so still we'll have to see how it plays out next week, the final week.
Like we mentioned, things are really starting to get heated around here, especially, just the high school football.
And I mentioned Coronado has to win their next two. They won tonight against Socorro, but they get East Lake next week. So that's going to be a tough one for Coronado. If they want a chance to make the playoffs, they're going to have to defeat the district champs and the East Lake Falcons.
It's going to get fun. Well, we want to remind you that you can watch the Borderland Blitz on the KVIA ABC 7CTV app. Now, it's available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. You can rewatch the Borderland Blitz if you want to relive the action, or if you missed it, you can go ahead and replay it.
Go ahead. We can still have plenty more to come here on the Borderland Blitz. As we mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to go over to the Field of Dreams after the break and see how it played out between the Las Cruces and Centennial Hawks. This was for our district championships. We'll also check in on District 1-4A. Austin taking on Bowie. Austin needed a win against Bowie to lay a share of the district title. And we also have the War of the Week coming up for you after the break.